Welcome to the Her Story Circle podcast, the podcast that brings you the extraordinary tales of everyday women who are changing the world. I'm your host, Gertrude Mache, and I'd like to acknowledge traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today. I also like to pay my respects to elders, past, present, and emerging. Every week, we dive into the lives, challenges, and triumphs of women from all four corners of the globe. We're here to inspire, enlighten, and connect, sharing stories that uplift and empower. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and join us as we explore the incredible journeys of women shaping our future. This is Her Story, where every woman's voice matters. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Her Story Circle. This is Gertrude Mache here in beautiful Melbourne, Australia. And today I am graced with the presence of yet another fascinating woman. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our tribe. Please tell everybody your full name, where you're based, and share your story with us today.
Hi, I'm Jacqueline Drummond, but my author name is Doc JC. I am originally from Guatemala. I'm second generation Jamaican, and I'm based in Santa Monica, California. My story. I was writing these amazing adventures with Doc JC, that the idea is to inspire children to become rich superheroes. R.I.C.H is an acronym that I have created to remind us that is resilience, imagination, creativity, and happiness, the superpowers that we have to really navigate any challenges in our life. Little do I know, this past January 7th, while my husband and I were on vacation in South Asia, our home was burned to the ground due to the Pacific Palisades fires of 2025. And this book has been an inspiration to really embody that rich superpowers that I wanted my children to have. And it's not only for children. The idea is to really embrace those superpowers that we have when we have to navigate the unknown. Navigating the unknown can be challenging, but with imagination, we can transform our questions into curiosity, our fears into excitement. And this is the navigation that I'm inviting children and their families. And I don't call just families. I introduce another term that is the home team. The home team is whoever is with you, the adults that are supporting you and carry you on during your challenging and enjoyable adventures. I call it an adventure. And why is an adventure? Because we are diving into something where we really need to see with curiosity. We have to use those glasses. And I'm inviting you to that adventure where you become the superhero. You will get to feel what are your superpowers. You will get to recognize your feelings and emotions and communicate them so your home team can better support you. Also, as a pediatric anesthesiologist, the book was inspired by seeing how brave children are, but they are lacking tools. And this is a tool that I'm introducing in their own language. So with their own curiosity, they can really venture into a planet unseen. Like that's what I call anesthesia. Anesthesia to me is a magical moment. And for that magical moment, I want children to really see it like that, to explore it like that. And this book is an introduction to show them, not only them, but the home team that is supporting them, how important is to work as a unit, how important is to use those rich superpowers to really recognize and go through the adventure of what is receive anesthesia or any challenging situations. I compare these, the challenging situation that I have and I'm facing right now, but every day I get on my cape and I remember to myself what is to be a rich superhero. The same superhero that everybody has is the superhero that I'm really inviting in this adventure. This adventure is a children's book, but it can also be for the big ones. And it's not only when you're going to have a medical procedure. It's for any challenging situation in life, is to step back and really recognize how you're moving forward. What are your powers that you're going to use to really embrace that circumstance? At the same time, it's a way to humanize the experience of medical field. I call them the Galaxy Guardians. And I am a Galaxy Guardians. And I want that everybody recognize that Galaxy Guardians are protectors of the path of any medical procedure. We are there to support, we are there to nurture, and really keep safe, a very safe adventure for everyone. I love that this book is really telling children that whatever the circumstance, they have the power to embrace it with their own curiosity, with their own imagination. And the same for the parents or the home team. Whoever is with the children, they need to know that they have all the tools that they need, but it starts with a conversation. The idea of stories is important because in a story we can recognize and at the same time we can identify ourselves and move forward with the challenge that is ahead. It let us create the space necessary or the pause that we need to do when we are facing challenging situations. So what are my desire for this book is that every child that walks into a medical procedure feel themselves really empowered. And it's not empowered by us, it's empowered by their own superpowers. The rich superpowers that I was telling at the beginning. We adults, we have it. We sometimes forget about it. But this time in January, it was a great reflection of my writing to put it in practice. Due to that, I am with gratitude moving forward from that devastating event and recognizing that I'm creating. I am looking with imagination, where am I going? And one of my pictures, big pictures in the imagination, is to see that rich superpowers, surround myself by rich superpowers. Little, big, it doesn't matter the age. We are all rich superpowers. We need to transform that word of rich to something that is meaningful. And that's what I want. Everybody wants to be rich, but not the rich that I'm talking about. And that's the challenge. I want to transform that word in what it really is. Also, I want to tell you about my background. As Guatemalan, my language, my first language is Spanish. So this book is also created in Spanish at the same time. Why? Because it's very important for children to learn in their own language. So in this community in Los Angeles, is a very diverse community, and we have these two big groups that speak English and Spanish. So I want those groups to be recognized and embrace in their own way, their own adventure. The Spanish book is called Aventuras con Doc JC, El Planeta Novedoso. So the unseen planet and Planeta Novedoso comes with that idea that everybody sees anesthesia as a far away. And it's fine. It's a faraway planet, but it's a planet that you can discover with your curiosity. And I invite you to come to my adventure.
Absolutely wonderful. I love, love, love what you have done with the power of storytelling to empower children. It's absolutely awesome that imagination can become a true superpower, right?
Yes.
So, can you share a moment when you realized that children needed more than medical care and that they needed storytelling?
I have the pleasure of serving hundreds of children, and really they feed into their parents' emotions. And my idea was like, okay, why not educate both at the same time by making this an adventure? Because the children is going to follow suit to whoever is the adult that they recognize the emotion. And you
Yes.
know how important are stories. We crave for stories. We learn from stories. And when it's a story that you're looking at it from the outside at the beginning, but then you can internalize that story. So that's why I use that tool. I learned so much from different stories that they were something that happened to somebody else, but then you can recognize yourself in that story. And that's the magic of the story.
Oh, I love it. So, what role did your Jamaican Guatemalan heritage play in shaping your worldview?
As a very minute community, and I will say very minute because it was really my family, extended family, I saw how my grandparents that were the ones that migrated, and then my parents that were the ones that integrated the Guatemalan culture and the Jamaican culture with their own creativity, gave us this richness that has a combination of being Guatemalan, but at the same time maintain Jamaican traditions. So they created in their own imagination, in their own way. They gave us the courage to really not stay fixated in one thing, but have curiosity. And with
Mhm.
that curiosity, to blend our experience.
That is so beautiful. Now, you coined the acronym RICH. How did this idea come to you, and why those four qualities?
The acronym came when I wanted a superhero, and when I'm inviting the children in the book, I'm inviting it with their name. But at the same time, what is the quality of that superhero? What is the quality that we have? And I start with resilience. And resilience, we all have that. We are
Mm,
thriving because we are resilient. Our imagination, everything that we say, oh, I remember when I was a child, I played those games, or everything that we did was through our imagination. And
mhm.
the courage to go for the first time away from our caregivers, right? And
Yes.
happiness. We all pursue happiness, and we all can create happiness. So having those words, I started to play, and then was like, okay, everybody talks about I want to be rich. Okay, yeah, that's the rich that I want. That's the superheroes that I want, the rich
Yeah.
superheroes.
Oh, I love it. It's interesting how these things come to you when you reach that certain level of clarity as well. Now, tell us the story of the little girl with cancer who changed your perspective on resilience.
Yeah, I was on my last year of medical school, and in Guatemala, they are a national hospital, and I had the really honor and pleasure to meet Sandra. And Sandra was a 5-year-old battling cancer. And during my rotation, I got the chance to meet her parent, her father, and he was coming from a village that was probably at least 6 hours away. And he needed
Okay.
to bring her back and forth. And low income, and every time the father has to take her, her job was jeopardized. He was not making. So I asked him if I can invite her and she can stay with me. Fast forward, he said yes. And I'm just going to describe a little bit about her. She didn't have hair because of her chemotherapy, and she has lost one of her eyes. But that didn't stop Sandra from being the amazing child that she was. When I took her home, I had twin nephews that were visiting. And when she saw them, she was just a child again, a child in her environment. And every time she went to chemotherapy, even though she was feeling sick and all of that, she bounced back. She bounced back because she wanted to play with them. And to me, that was like, okay, everybody, we, the adults, are facing with these childs that are just being awesome, are superheroes. We need to recognize and empower them to use them to continue.
Oh, that's a beautiful story. And it's interesting that, yeah, every child is just a child. Given the opportunity and the right environment, they thrive despite the illness. So, what was the hardest personal challenge that you faced that tested your own imagination?
My own imagination, how to translate in a plain language all the medical knowledge that I had. So I learned that I needed to have a home team. And that's when I came with that idea. And those were the adults that helped me with no medical knowledge to really put in plain language what I was trying to convey. At the
Yes.
beginning, there was no 32 pages, were more than that. And little by little, it was amazing to see how the wording and everything were falling into place.
So it just was very organic and it clicked into place without too much effort. I
Effort,
love
yes, because it was a
it.
combination of things. But at the
Yeah.
same time, the passion kept it so, yeah, even when I was tired after work, I always dedicated time to keep it on, and not
Yeah.
knowing that this book has been like my life vest.
Yeah.
When I was flat, when I was came back here, I was came back to California in January. It was like nothing that I knew, nothing that was familiar, all was gone. The only thing that I have was that book, and that book was kind of like I hold to that, and I kept going because I wanted to continue moving forward.
That's just awesome. So, how do you explain planet anesthesia to children in your book?
It's funny. I have my first readers are my nephews. They are just 5 years old. And when they read the book, they were waiting for me to visit Guatemala. When I went to visit them, they say, "Can you take me to Planet Anesthesia?" So it
Yeah.
was funny. They want to go, but why Planet? It's a remote place, but at the same time has so much mystery. And
Yeah.
I want people, and I say people because it's not only children, but adults as well, not to go with fear, but really trust that they are galaxy guardians like us, the anesthesiologists that know how to get you to that planet. And in that planet, I cannot tell you what is going to happen to you, but I can guarantee you're going to be safe. Maybe you will remember the dreams, but most of the time, all you're going to know is like when you go back, is like, did I ever go? And we are here to tell you, yes, you did. Your procedure is completed and you don't remember. So that's what is an unseen, because it's so different for everyone.
Oh, that's fantastic. That is just fantastic. So, why do you think adults lose touch with their own imagination?
We, and I'm going to go by my story. everything that we have, our emotions and feelings, we don't get to share that. We don't make the spaces. And without having that to communicate, for example, to say, I'm scared or I have fear, those are words that we just kept in ourselves and we kind of like emulate whoever is showing us how to do it. And
Yes.
without open completely, you can. You have to be present fully. And to be present is to start a conversation from where you are. What are you feeling? So we can find out what do you need and get the help or ask for the help if we want help in an
Yeah.
efficient way.
Yeah, that is just amazing. So, what is your definition of a home team, and how does it challenge the traditional views of family?
So it's not challenging the tradition of family, or maybe a little bit if you want to just call family like in the books, mom, dad, and whoever else is at home. Right
Mhm.
now, this society has many different ways of seeing families. So instead of putting it in conflict, why not calling it a home team? Whoever
Right.
is with you, whoever is supporting you, whoever is the adult that you can go and ask for help, that's your home team. And
Mm.
everybody understands the concept of having a team. And that's what I want. At the end of the book, you know that you're going to walk to that procedure or you're learning something, but you're learning something in company of somebody else. You are
Mm.
not alone.
Oh, I like that. So, how did losing your home in the fires teach you about? Sorry, what did losing your home in the fires teach you about connection and resilience?
Without finding the human connectivity, I personally will be at lost. Having the call, having people embrace me, that's all you can. The material things, I cannot really make count of them. The things that are lost in the fire are gone, but new things came out of the fire, new relationships, gratitude for people that I will never know. And they show so much in many different ways to support. So
Mm.
feel value, feel seen. Those things were really, really important during that time. And it's still, gratitude comes from that, from those connections that you make with people directly or indirectly, especially gratitude for sharing life. Life continues and nature
Mhm.
continues. So that's what I learned.
So, what do you hope your message will change the way that doctors interact with young patients?
I not only doctors, but I want the whole structure to really see themselves. When I say the Galaxy Guardians, is not only nurses or physicians, it's also whoever keeps the place clean, whoever
Yes.
keeps the place safe, the person that collects all your information. Everyone, their job is important. We work as a team. We work in that portal that the patient is going to walk in, but we have to recognize that the job of everyone counts.
Mm.
Everyone counts at the same. So that's what I call everybody, point blank, Galaxy Guardians.
Mm.
If they can embrace that, we will recognize that, yeah, regardless of what is my job, I'm part of a bigger picture. And the picture is to have one patient at a time feeling comfortable, seen, understood, and
Mm.
give them all the best that we can.
So, if children are natural superheroes, what can adults do to keep that spark alive as they grow?
I will say in my practice, I found that for the adult that is trying to protect the child, They
Mhm.
are, they don't have the words. They don't know what to explain, or even their own fear don't allow them to really be open. And children, in order to feel comfortable, they need plain language, but plain doesn't mean hiding. They need to
Yes.
know the truth. And when they know the truth and they become part of a conversation, is better for the engagement and for the whole family. So I want this to be a tool, a bridge to open the unknown for the adult, a bridge to
Yeah.
open the unknown for a child, and a place to meet together. It has an interactive portion at the end that I love, and that's where everybody put their favorite things, what makes them better, what helps them, what not. And if everybody can come and really, in that short moment that we get the anesthesiologist to talk to them and say, wait, this is my toy, but this is really somebody that I love, we know how to take care not only the child but the toy as well.
I like that. So, why is it important that your book be translated into multiple languages and formats like Braille?
Yeah, I didn't make that mention, but I say I want every child to be seen. And when I say
Mhm.
seen, is to find them where they are. I know
Yeah.
this book is called Adventures with Doc JC because there's going to be other planets to come. There are other needs that I want to feel, to invite the children to be, and really to recognize, oh, that's me,
Yes.
that's speaking to me. So anyone with challenges, there's another planet to visit, and Doc JC will take them there. The translation, yeah, I want this to expand to communities, and especially to different languages, because medication is not always the best thing to do for anxiety, but a good
Mm,
story is
can help.
very cost effective. And it's
Yeah.
not only for the child, it's for the whole home team.
Oh, I love it. So, if you could leave children everywhere with one mantra to carry throughout life, what would that be?
And that's the mantra that I use to sign my books. Be a rich superhero,
Okay.
regardless of what is the circumstance. It doesn't have to be a challenge. Just show up with your rich superpowers.
Oh, that's so beautiful. My last question for you is all about legacy. What legacy do you hope your work will leave for the next generation?
To learn from children, to really appreciate those values that when we become adult we think we don't need them, but at the
Yeah.
end they are as important as they are when we are a child.
Yeah.
So to have that courage to really go with what we have and not to look for things outside ourselves. We are our own superheroes, and that's
Yes.
my legacy. I want each one of us to see in the picture and see, I see you. I see you.
Mm, mm. That is so beautiful. Now, is there anything I should have asked you and I didn't?
Mm. Well, you can see how important is creating communities and being
Yes.
part of a new circle, a circle that without this book, my story will not click.
Hmm.
But because of that tragedy, I have a story to share. And I'm not saying you need a tragedy to really be
But
heard, but this book became more like a, yeah, I have to do it because of the events that happened.
yeah.
So we are social beings, and as social beings will be amazing if we can create a culture where rich superpowers are the ones that really we communicate and share among each other.
And let's finish off with the acronym again for R.I.C.H.
R.I.C.H is resilience, imagination, courage, and happiness. Curiosity and happiness, or you can use courage.
Oh, that is so beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Lewis, for coming online and sharing with our audience this amazing book that you've written to empower kids. We do need to nurture the creativity and the imagination that children naturally have. And unfortunately, with life, even as adults, we get that thing taken away from us as we go through life. But being conscious to keep reinforcing it, I think that's the important thing.
And the value that you have, Gertrude, the Ubuntu, that will be something that we really need to keep embracing more and more. It's not for one culture, it's globally.
For everyone. Thank you. And thank you to everybody who tuned in today. The Her Story Circle is not just a podcast. We're a social impact movement that brings you the stories and voices of people from all over the world. We share our stories to uplift you, to inspire you, to energize you, but most importantly, to take you from where you are now to where you're trying to go. So if you are somebody who has children in your life, even if it's not your child, it might be a grandchild, a nephew, a niece, here is a fantastic book that you can gift them with so that they can see the unseen planet and live magical, empowering lives. Thank you so much, everybody. I'll be back again tomorrow with yet another amazing guest. In the meantime, have a fantastic day, morning, or evening, wherever you are in the world, and bye for now. Dr. JC, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Now, everybody. Thank you for tuning into the Her Story Circle podcast. I hope today's story has inspired you to believe in the power of our stories and the difference you can make in the world when you use your voice. I'm Jacqueline Drummond, and it's been an honor to share this space with you, where voices from all walks of life come together to weave a rich tapestry of diverse perspectives. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review our podcast to help us share these stories with more listeners. Follow us on social media by looking for the Her Story Circle podcast for more updates. And join us tomorrow for another episode filled with courage, resilience, and empowerment. Remember, your story matters, and together we're building a stronger, more inclusive world. Until next time, keep making her story.